Hey guys, welcome to the LCS Online. I'm your host, Charlie, and with me,
Josh, and Al.
and today we're going to be covering the Anthem demo. Let's get into it. So, Al, what did you think about it?
I have mixed feelings about it. Part of me, I really love the way it feels when you fly, and I don't know. I ended up going for the Interceptor for my second class, and I don't know. I always love playing speedy characters, so the fact that I was able to just run around and do like multiple jumps in the air and just kind of flip all over the place and fly, it like momentum and everything felt great. I'm kind of iffy on how I feel about combat though.
Yeah, combat is
I'm
definitely
iffy as well.
Yeah. Me coming from, my favorite FPSs, Destiny, for example. I know it's supposed to be the competition for Destiny, but
Yeah.
the combat is just so clunky.
It's very clunky.
Yeah, I keep remembering that there's terrain problems. Like whenever I'm zoomed in and I'm taking a shot, every once in a while, and a lot, I just like fall a little on the map. It's not that like I'm like going off a cliff or something. It's just like a little bump that takes my shot right off because I'm a precision guy.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no real smooth movements that you can take other than flying.
Yeah. And even then you have like the overheat gauge, which it sneaks up on you because you think that you're fine for a while, and then the next thing you know it's in the red and you're just like, crap, I have to land.
No, that's true. That's true.
So I'm on PC. I did not experience the problem with like dipping a little bit in the ground. I don't know if that was like a console thing, but for me, I did not have enough RAM to properly run the game. Everything was fine except for flying. When I was in the air, I would drop like 30 frames, sometimes more, and my game would freeze for like a full second. Next thing I know, I'm flying into a mountain. Other than that, the combat I felt clunky, and it just was, here's 50 of one enemy, here's 10 of another one, and you just shoot like lifeless husks while pressing a couple of keys every couple seconds to get your power and shoot missiles.
I mean,
everyone just spamming that at once. I don't know. I just felt like.
I mean, my issue here is with the lower level combat, right? You have an issue with weapon control, so it's going to be, if you're using fully automatic, like your assault rifle, whatever, you're on point for the first shot.
Yeah.
2 and 3 are gone. They're like the recoil just takes it all the way out.
Yeah.
Okay. But my problem is it shouldn't be happening on 2 or 3. If you're long pressing, right, 4, 5, 6 shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. A heavy recoil for a long amount of shot, but like
Not right
if you're
away.
if you're doing a 3-round burst, I couldn't even 3-round burst for an accurate hit. I had to single shot it, which is terrible. I mean that defeats the purpose of any kind of like assault rifle, right? I mean if I were using a submachine gun, that'd be different.
Exactly.
But aside from that, my issue is that once you go into the higher level enemies, right? You get so many like free I don't know if you guys have ever had this in other games, but when you get like just overwhelmingly attacked,
Yeah.
and then it just like freezes you, like you can't even move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened to me all the time. I constantly found myself ducking and diving between mountains, throwing a grenade, and then waiting for it to recharge.
Yep.
Yeah,
that
because
was me a
there
couple
was
times.
no way to like assault the larger enemies because they would just freeze you in your attack. You couldn't even move, and then you're dead.
And another thing I found while playing, as well as other people that I've seen like on YouTube played as well, it's just a mess on the screen. Here's enemies, here's your friends doing co-op throwing things, and it's just like, here's orange from explosion, purple, and it's just so much on the screen at once. It's kind of hard to like determine. Like, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And it's just like all going around, and then you wind up like not knowing what's going on, and then you hide and do the grenade and wait for your stuff to recharge just to get your ground again.
Absolutely.
There's just so much going on.
And you know what doesn't help it as well is that when you're turning in combat, you still get the blur effect. So
I talked about Angel behind the camera with that. I turned motion blur I don't know why it exists. It makes me
It gives me
horrifically
emotions.
sick.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of not turning it off right away. Moved once, it was like, oh crap. Turned it off and realized it was not gone. It's still there slightly.
Oh, so you can't even like turn it off.
I still felt like there was motion blur when it was turned off, and when I was in combat, moving around, everything's a mess with motion blur, it was not working for me. Just playing a basic game like that.
And you know what really grinds my gears? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so the thing I think I'm the most disappointed with is the fact that I feel like there is a good game somewhere in there, because, like for the problems with the combat and all that, when I was in a squad of 4 people going up against a giant scorpion monster thing, and it was like life or death, like all these creatures are coming out and the monster is like coming out of the ground and attacking, and without even saying anything, we're somehow like planning this out. We're each guarding an entrance and just fixing all that, and it was really intense and it was really fun.
Okay, well,
And so-
here's my gripe with that, though, okay? While it's great for teaming, okay, a really, really good shooter, you have to be able to one-man it. You have to.
Yeah.
You cannot one-man. Even what was it, the second mission that you have to go on, the boss? That was impossible to one-man.
Oh yeah, the 3 titans.
Impossible. No. Even before that.
Is it the one with the little thing like a stationary with
Yeah.
the little guy in the suit?
No. It's the big like mech thing that shows up.
The yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
that's the one. So, I mean, you just can't one man.
No, not at all. The thing is,
Yeah.
though, have you tried one manning it?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was scaling.
No, it didn't scale at all.
Okay,
I mean,
wow.
I turned off my Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And then I went back into the game, right?
Mhm.
And it was impossible. It was just like, it would have taken me hours to beat this guy.
Yep.
So it's just not feasible as a shooter.
Yeah.
All right, so we've been ragging on Anthem a little bit, but like Al said, I think there are some really fine points. For me, it's the art. I think it's a beautiful game. It's gorgeous.
It is.
I mean, the scenery in just the first area alone.
Yeah.
Everything's so detailed.
Yeah, I mean, you expect this level of detail from higher end games, but I think BioWare decided to front load all of the images, so that it's a good looking game on paper, and
Yeah.
maybe we're getting the beta. That's not a complete game, so they're refining the mechanics. That's hopefully I see what that's going on.
Yeah. And I also think that the story, from what we've seen from the demo, because for me, stories in games are a huge thing. Like, if a game doesn't have a good story, I'm really quick to lose interest. And I'm already, like, I'm attached to Matthias, even though
Oh, yeah.
there was that last cutscene that I'm hearing a lot of people just had to skip it. So I'm not quite sure what happened with him and his, like, 3 parts, but I don't know. I want to see more from him. I want to see more from everyone else there. I feel like there's a really interesting story there, which is already a good sign for me.
For me, it's once again like the art, but more importantly, just how well it looks on like a big high-end PC. I mean, obviously you can boost any game, make it look better with your graphics and everything, but I feel like Anthem's a step above. It's a beautiful game. It's just like the water with like some of like the fog, or when you're flying, and it's just so streamlined. It's just breathtaking.
You think it's going to be
is.
the next benchmark?
I think it is.
I'm really
mean,
feeling it.
It stinks that like EA is at the core for that benchmark.
Yeah.
But if this is the way games are gonna look coming 2019, 2020, 21, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm liking where things are going.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's God of War, Red Dead Redemption already look good. Imagine those games. You're riding through your horse like Arthur and everything, but through the mountain range looking like Anthem. That's
Yeah.
it's a step
Yeah,
above. It
yeah,
really is.
that's incredible. Yeah, and as much as we don't like the combat mechanics and everything, there is significant promise to it. You know?
Yeah.
I,
Like I said before, I feel like there's definitely a good game hidden there somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the big thing for me is they're introducing the new like third level dynamic, which is going to be the flying. You know, as a FPS guy, the hardest thing you have to do in any FPS, no matter what, is bailing. Right, bailing from an engagement, because you know they already have line of sight on you. You can jump, right, but everyone knows 3 feet isn't going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So when you introduce that new axis, you're like giving a whole new escape route option, right? Because you can barrel roll, you could you can do all sorts of crazy stuff when you're flying, right? Which is going to make it infinitely harder to get that that lock on them for the killing shot. So I think it's a really interesting mechanic, and I really do hope it goes forward smoothly in combat.
I agree. Another thing is, I mean, I complained about the flight earlier with my RAM, but when it did work, it worked. It's a joy. Just double tap a button and you're in the air. You're hovering, and then you just take off. You are like Iron Man. And that is
True, yeah.
a feeling that I've never really felt in any other game that I've really played. Just that ease of being able to fly like that.
Yeah, and there's also something really exhilarating when your overheat meter is starting to like run red and you fly close enough down to the water to like cool it, and you're just still going, and there's something really cool about that.
Yeah, that's really satisfying. I believe that, yeah. But I mean, even on top of that, the weapons mechanics they have, the seeking missile, that thing was awesome. That thing was super cool.
The special, the ultimate or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
well, ultimate has its issues.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the right, or it's the right bumper for me.
It's probably just one of those.
Yeah, the ones that
what you're
reload.
talking about.
Yeah,
One's grenade, one's
the other one. Yeah,
okay.
that
Gotcha.
other one.
That was nice.
That
Oh yeah,
one
we
is super
probably
cool.
should have started
It was
with saying
satisfying.
that you were playing it on Xbox.
Sure.
Obviously, he's playing it on PC. I was playing it on PS4, so we all have different
Andrew
controls.
behind the mic was PC as well with me.
Yeah.
So we got full range of experience.
Yeah, so for me it was R2. For you it was right
bumper,
trigger.
yeah.
Bumper.
For you guys, how did it run on console?
It,
You know-
it ran fine.
I think the only issues I had was during combat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it froze up or anything. It's just that dip for me.
Yeah.
That dip in combat. That's the only thing that did it. But otherwise, it ran pretty smooth.
It's a taxing game.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot going on.
Oh yeah. No, I believe it. Yeah.
Like I did have a couple connection hiccups, but that was most likely my own slow internet.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the most part it was working just fine.
Yeah. Also be aware, he's a terrible, terrible FPS guy. Like,
I'm not terrible.
Well,
Hey.
it's not a first-person shooter.
I know it's not an FPS. No, but it's like
It's
it has
just a
spi-
shooter.
It has the spirit of an FPS.
Yeah.
That's something that always bugged me is that they decided to go with 3PS because I feel like a lot of the gun mechanics would work better with an FPS.
Yeah.
And they didn't have enough to compensate for that, you know?
The reason they did that, though, was you get to see your suit, you get to see your abilities.
Yeah.
In first-person shooter, you don't really get that, which is kind of, I don't mean to get off track, but Cyberpunk 2077,
Yeah.
you get all your enhancements, it looks great, but it's in
But you don't
first
get to
person,
see them.
you don't get to see it. You don't get to see all your biomechanic.
Well, I guess it really comes down to it's a new territory for shooter right now, and as much as we want to say it's good or it's bad, it's still in its infancy.
Yeah.
And I am willing to revisit it in like a year, 2 years from now, and see how the mechanics get like worked out. You know.
Yeah.
But as of now, we got to do our ratings. So we're gonna go starting with Al, and we're gonna do this out of 10. 10 Angelos. Take it away.
So I give it 6 Angelos out of 10. It's mostly because I did have a lot of fun playing it. I genuinely enjoyed my time playing it. I would say at launch, I'd probably at launch it's about 6 Angelo heads. after post-game content and all that stuff they add on later on, it might go up to 7 or 8, depending on how it changes. But for now, 6 Angelo heads.
So for me, I'm going to give it 4 Angelos. I like the atmosphere that it has. I like the art and stuff, but I did not enjoy it. It's a grind, rinse, repeat game. That's not my cup of tea. There's been numerous complaints about it. Obviously, EA's at the head of it, and they've already leaked loot boxes and like a ton of like microtransactions. I don't think that needs to be there. And to go off what you said, Al, I don't think we should be paying $60 for a game that might be better in 6 months, a year. I want a good game at launch that gets even better in post-launch. Not I have to wait on it. Mm-hmm. So 4 Angelos for me.
All right, guys. I honestly think that we're gonna give it a total of about 6 Angelo heads, because really, coming from an FPS perspective, the mechanics are not really where they need to be. But again, it's a beta. We're not seeing a complete game. Hopefully, it's going to change. It does have a lot of promise for a great game. But when we're looking at the things that really make it what it should be, it's just not all there. It's not all there, and we can't give it anything that would prompt it, based on how it could be. So, as far as that goes, that's Anthem. And I'm your host, Charlie.
Josh.
And Al.
And we'll see you in the shop. Oh, hey, Geek Fam. It's your boy, Charlie. We're going to talk about our sponsors today. This wonderful comic comes from Iron Buffalo, where you can get your comics, your games, and your coffee in local Western New York. Awesome guys. And Under the Sun, your online retailer for anything you need. So, before you click away, because, you're going to do that, make sure to check out our Instagram, because we have a giveaway going on for your comic book and video game and anime crushes. So, if you want to apply, just check out the post, and hopefully you win some cool stuff. In any case, we'll see you in the shop.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. If you liked what you saw, be sure to follow our social medias. We've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, or else they won't feed me. This is a cry for help. Please, come save